just came on board just this year, really. And like I was saying to someone before, I had been at Yamaha and I went to Sakai, and I'd known, a lot of drummers that played Mapex. A good friend of mine, Hurl and Riley, and some other cats. But I never had really kind of entertained the thought of Mapex drums. Now, let's fast forward. Russ Miller, who was a good friend and who was at Yamaha, called because Sakai, unfortunately, the company kind of caved. And I was all set to go to Sonar. And I'll never forget Joe Testa and Russ. Russ said, hey man, you need to check these drums out. So, I'm like, okay, whatever. So they sent me the drums. And I have to say, I was really flawed. Like, I'm not just saying that because we're in this room. I have a lot of drums, so there's not need to acquire more. Like, I would be fine, okay, with just playing the drums I have. I'm a collector, so I have vintage drums. So I was cool with that. But when I hit the drums and the sound, and just the curiosity with how things were being made, that kind of hooked me. And then I saw the cats that they wanted to bring on, and some who had already been there. And the team, like a lot of drum companies have a lot of people, but it's about having the right amount of people and the right chemistry. And you don't need a lot of people to get your product across. So I've known him for a little while now. We don't always see each other. We run in different circles, but we know. And the mere fact that I can sit here next to this is a super bad dude and listen to the drums. Like, I'm a fan. I'm like you also. Like, I'm a fan. So as much as I'm sitting here, I came actually so I could actually, because I came to actually hear him play because I missed before. So yeah, I hit the drums a little bit, but I'm like curious. Like, I want to hear what those drums sound like with him beasting out on it. Like, and I'm sure you do too. So that's why I'm here. So that's my introduction. I'm Greg. You got it, man.
So I'm Rashid, and the last part of what he said just is no, but so very different. The contrast that I've been with Mapex for about, it's going on 13 or 14 years now. So I started with Mapex, and my first kit that I played was a Pro M.
Wow.
So all maple shells. It was considered like the startup kit, whatever. So to see this happen is leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've been from Orion being the top of the line to Orion being discontinued, and then we got the Saturn series, and then that got so improved up to the Saturn V. And then, the next conversation was how do we make great drums better, because the conversation that kept happening is that Mapex was never 100% respected as a great set of drums.
You're right.
However, if I played the drums live, people would come up and say, yo, dude, your drums sound killing.
Yeah.
What are they? And Mapex, huh? And that's the often response, right?
I was guilty, man.
Yeah,
So
hey,
I was
listen,
guilty.
and that's the thing, because
I was guilty.
You had to hear them before you saw them, because
Exactly.
if you saw them before you heard them, you're like, I don't want to hear those. So what ended up happening is, it was a 5-year run now. I think the conversation's been happening about starting drums with, and Russ had so much to do with it, man. He's such a genius.
Yeah.
Starting drums at the sound and not at the look or at the build.
Yeah.
Start at the sound and just make it whatever else it has to be.
Yeah.
Which is how we get Transformer arms.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's some new stuff, man.
Yeah, it's a thing, but when you learn about them and you learn what they do, then you start telling yourself, all right, now, game changer.
It's game. Say it again.
Game changer.
I said it downstairs, and I said it in front of some people from the other company because I wanted them to hear what I'm saying. Like, it's a game changer. It changes everything, right?
Every single thing about it.
They can't, it's over.
Yeah, I mean, and to even be a little more transparent, I was one of those guys who always said, if you take the time, because most guys, most drummers tune their drums off the drums first. Mm-hmm. Like, you take your time, you sit it on your lap, or you sit it on top of something, and you just, hit every corner, you make sure you got a good tone, flip it over, do the same thing. Some guys do half step up, half step down. This method is method. But I was one of those guys that would get really frustrated because you hold the time up, you go dun dun dun, you got this beautiful resonance, you're like, I got it. And then you put it on most drum sets, you put it and it puts that weight on the drum. Next thing you know, you just muted your drum.
Yep.
Like, it's literally, I dare drummers to go home and do it.
Yep.
You will be like, wow, it's so true. When I first saw this, Russ was like, hey man, listen. I was like, all right. He put it on and he said, now listen. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Because now we have a different concept now. This is the concept of, you know, your drums are gonna sound exactly the way you want them to.
Yeah.
Whatever that sound may be, because it could be something different for everybody. Greg's drums won't be my drums won't be his drums. And if they do, even if he tunes his kit and I tune this kit and then we switch, they're gonna sound different.
Yeah.
So to be able to say that the drum keeps the consistency that it has, whether it's on the mount, off the mount, like that is groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Literally groundbreaking.
But what I will tell you is, look at it. Just think about what we're talking about. Look, that's what you look at that. You see that right there? So when you hit the drum, you're getting that. Any other drum you hit, you get this, and that's like driving the car into the wall. Well, guess what? It doesn't really work so well. This is great. And so, yeah, okay, maybe you have to read up on how to use it, and it's not that hard. We joke, it looks crazy, but it really is not that difficult. But this arm does so much.
Oh yeah.
And there's not another company. So, you know, person said, well, is it comparable to like the rim system? No, this is a whole nother level. This is some other stuff. Like, this is a completely different sound than rims. And no offense to rims, but this is something different. And the sound you hear is, you're right, is what you get. Like,
what you see, what you get, what you tune is what you get. So, and I mean, so to kill all the suspense, this magnetic system, this is what this is. This is a full, it's basically a magnetic field. Basically is what it is. What happens with this whole mount here, you have a couple different moving parts. So we'll start with the magnet itself. So
I gotta get lesson 2, excuse me.
the magnet, which is right in there, if you had a piece of metal or take a coin, it's gonna grab it. It's really strong. You have an adjustable point here. The more you turn it in, the more the magnet pulls, which is gonna give the tom more float essentially, right? Which to us as a drummer, that translates to follow through. Mm-hmm. What killed me, not killed me, but in a good way, like what really blew my mind about these drums was when I played them, it didn't feel like you were doing like that. Mm-hmm. It felt like you were doing like that.
Exactly.
Every time. So when you hit the drum, like you're literally getting a full follow through. Now, drummers, everybody knows when you're playing drums, and I'm gonna tell you something that most people don't even realize, because everybody wanna talk about, oh, we're getting sore when I play, should I do my rudiments more? No. For one, check your tuning points, check how the tension that is on your snare heads and on your tom heads. Because 9 times out of 10, if you're doing this all day, for every time you hit that, it's giving you equal force back into the stick. All you're gonna do is kill your arms. So, for you guys that are like, follow through, who cares? That's what difference it makes. Playing for 5 years or playing for 50.
Yeah, exactly.
Carpal tunnel, no carpal tunnel. Like, exactly. There are some true benefits to this, right? Yeah. So that controls how much the magnet actually pulls, which controls the follow through. Cool. That gets cooler. So this piece,
I'm getting a lesson 2, so I don't have to read the manual now.
I read the manual 7 times a day.
Thank you, man, because like my eyesight's not so good. So
this piece right here that actually slides up and down, which is why you have the space there. So now we're talking about, this is where it gets freakishly great and weird. You have a drum, you hit the drum, dong, sounds great. I play R&B hip hop a lot, a lot. Drums can't always have that much ring on the stick. So what ends up happening, the drummer says, I'm taking tape, gaff tape, like particularly, something special about gaff tape, and you start creasing it and folding it, and you put it on the drum, and it, doom, it mutes it. Now you can control the sustain of the drum.
Oh, come on, hit me,
by just dropping this up and down.
Oh, you're kidding me, man.
I'm not kidding. But wait, there's more. So now that you have that, right, and it's like you have this super thing, you say, okay, great. For the freakishly intelligent drummer that says, all right, cool, well, now that I can do that, but what about if I want my 10-inch time to have a different vibe than my 12-inch time? Okay, then you look at this piece right out here. It adjusts up and down size of drums. It can hold everything up to an 18-inch, I believe. And I mean, not to say you'd ever want a non-18-inch, but hey, just it can do it.
Yeah.
And it accommodates the size. I'm gonna jump from this for a second and go into another part of these drums that's also really cool, and I'm sure you would enjoy as well. And I'm sure you have enjoyed, because this is like one of the things that blew my mind. Every drum shell has a different ply as they get bigger.
Yes.
So we all have played drums that every drum has the same amount of plies. Your 16-inch floor time has the same amount of plies as your 10-inch mounted time. That is the most, it's not smart, number one, but you don't realize it until you actually think about it. You want a thicker sound, you want a deeper sound from your bigger drums, you need more plies, you need more wood.
Yeah.
You want a lighter sound, more mid to high sound on your times, and you just want it to cut through more, you need less wood. So, such a simple thing that makes such a huge difference. From 8 to the kicks to 22 or 24 or whatever, the plies get thicker and thicker and thicker, and they put reinforcement hoops inside the floor times.
It's a lot, man.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. You're talking about now going from drums that most companies, and no offense to any company, everybody got their thing, whatever. But you're talking about companies that are making drums. Some companies make drums because they look good. Some companies make drums because they sound good and they're happy with that. They're happy with that one level of, we sound good, let's just stay there.
Yeah.
Now you're talking about a company saying, hey, listen, we know that the drums, we can make them look however we want. Realistically speaking, we can make them sound however we want. The way they are, they're fine. Now you're talking about, hey, let's make it better.
All you really have to do is, as they say, you have to test drive, and then you'll understand what we're talking about. So we could talk about it all day. We can play them for you too, but you have to test drive, and then I think you will fully understand. Like, it is what it is. Like, and there's no denying that. I think now Mapex is for sure is going to carve out really a different path that's different from everyone else's drums. So so all the companies at a certain point, they make good drums, high-end drums. But do they all sound good? And I have to say, this is, and it's not just the room, that's just like, there's just something about that, that's earthy.
And that kitchen is empty.
That's empty, there's nothing inside. And so I did the test because I put a coated head on the same size drum. I just finished my record, and it was the same sound. And that blew me away, because usually, like he said, you gotta tape it up. The 3 rings on the inside of the bass drum, you know, head, middle, soaks up that overtone.
Which has a clear head on it, so you can actually see that.
So you can see in the drum, right? So it's great. So all the drums, I haven't touched anything. We just come in. Now with some time, of course, we'll tune them up. But right out, you're ready to go. I mean, you can take everything away and just have snare drum and bass drum, and you'll be good to go, you know. And if you want to play open, difference, like the drum really is there, and I'm not trying to kill your ears because I killed mine too, but it's there. You know, you get the essence of, and I like that, man. Like at the end of the day, we are students and we are fans, and I'm a fan of sound. So like a good sounding drum kind of turns me on. In a very musical way. Verification for the young people sitting here. And you know, it allows you to play. Because there's enough obstacles, like just trying to learn to play. But if you got something that sounds good, it makes life much easier. And so that's this set. But I want to hear. Actually, this is how I segue and get out of playing. I want to hear what those drums sound like.
So, those are cherries, these are maple mahogany. The maple mahogany ones, there's a different personality.
Oh Lord.
And I messed with the floor toms a little bit. I didn't mess with the mountains.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, it's just whereas we say in the business arena shops.
Ooh, that sounds good already, man.
Yeah, dude. And that's just
raw.
That's raw. That's raw. These are stock heads. These are, I mean, you're talking about just out the box.
That's what that.
You know what I'm saying? So, same thing with the kick. So closed up.
Damn.
Now the other crazy thing about this is
There's nothing inside.
nothing inside of it. It feels like there's something inside of it because of those reinforcement
That's
hoops.
crazy, man.
Breaks up the sound a little bit as it travels. So you're talking about that pocket. That goes a long way.
I love that.
Because that's literally how you get paid.
That's how you get paid.
That's literally how you get paid, for those who didn't know. So, now, that, I'm glad you did that, because you can hear the difference in the contrast. Like, we're talking about literally, we're talking identity now. We're talking identity now. You know what I'm saying? Another drummer can play the same kid, it won't sound like that because it's just my hands, my body, my feel. But identity-wise,
Yeah.
you can't beat it.
That's crisp, man. That bass drum is really. You got punch, man.
I'm an attacker, so I'm sticking on that head as soon as I hit it.
Yeah.
And that's always been my thing. Like, the worst thing is when you get on the kit and you do that, and it's like
It chokes. Yeah.
it's like weird. It's like
That's
drum-
open though. That's kind of thing, man.
That's the thing. So you don't to do an R&B tour. I did Jill Scott with nothing in my kick drum.
Ooh.
I don't know if you understand what that means. To do an R&B tour and not muffle the kick drum, and the front of house guys not walking up the stage like, come on, man, stuff the kick with something.
Wow.
That means everything.
Duets. We got some duets.